2007, SMPTE made their first introduction to the concept of moving away from traditional SDI cables for video production with a protocol that only an engineer could love, called 2022. Now the goal was to move it all to the Ethernet network. And sometime between then and 2017, products started releasing that allowed operators to produce real-time content by connecting devices to the network instead of a video router. But here's the problem. It was really expensive, required a 10 gig switch at minimum, and very specific hardware. And to be honest, it was really designed for large, well-funded broadcasters. 2015 though, NewTek, whose founder had always believed that video production tools should be democratized for the masses, revealed to the world for the first time NDI. Network Device Interface. Now this was a protocol that used standard 1 gig networks to move video between production tools without the use of expensive routers and cables. Now, 6 years and almost 5 versions later, that same protocol has features like PTZ camera control, tally, KVM, scan converter, and several options for bandwidth management. Even more important, true to the founder of NewTek's goal, anyone can download NDI tools and begin using them to produce content. OBS, vMix, Wirecast, and a host of other manufacturers have adopted NDI as a way to share media content between devices across the network. Even Skype and Microsoft Teams has NDI built right in. And right now there are close to a dozen camera manufacturers who have implemented NDI right at the lens. Which leads me to this little hockey puck, the Kiloview U40. Now, when you need to add NDI to your system, you're probably going to need an encoder. And Kiloview has been partnered with NewTek in the production of NDI encoders since the first one released as the Spark in 2017. So today, let's put this one on the bench and see what's inside. The U40 is the first major departure from the standard box-like designs of other NDI encoders. I mean, it's a sturdy block of aluminum, and like other NDI encoders, it has tally lights. Unlike others, it has them on the front, the bottom, and the top. It also has a 1/4-20 mounting thread, so it can be mounted just about anywhere. The U40 is a full NDI encoder, and for those of you scratching your heads right now, that means it has the least amount of compression and delay that NDI has to offer. Most importantly, this is a UHD HDMI encoder, so it can handle up to 4K 60p on its HDMI port. Now this thing is punching way above its weight class. So here's where it starts to get interesting. First, dual Ethernet ports, one with PoE, one without. Now let's stick a pin in that one for a moment. It also has a power port for 12 volt in, and on the other side, 12 volt out for powering other peripherals, say like a monitor for instance. Now you've got a 3.5mm audio jack for embedding local audio into the NDI stream, and a USB port. Let's make this story more interesting. If you have a PTZ camera, you can add a USB to serial adapter and control the camera through the NDI signal. But actually, this is standard for many of the NDI encoders on the market. But hold on a second. Remember that extra Ethernet port? Well, Kiloview stepped up the game by allowing PTZ control over IP. So in our test, we plugged HDMI and Ethernet from a camera in our lab to the U40, and the other Ethernet went back to the network. And with a few simple configs, we were able to control the camera over NDI. No serial cables, no baud rate config problems. It just worked. Still, only having to pull one cable to the camera and the decoder, and you still have access to the camera's native interface. This is great because now non-NDI cameras are full NDI cameras with control. If Kiloview were to stop right there, we would have a solid, full NDI Ultra HD encoder that could rival all others on the market for both performance and price. But as I've learned with Kiloview, they don't stop. The latest firm release as of February adds IP conversion, and basically what this means is in the menu you can enter the IP address of an IP camera on your network, and the U40 will convert that to NDI HX. I know what you're gonna say, Nick, it's not full NDI, and to that I say, get over it. If you have IP cameras, you won't even need to install this in the same room. Just put it on the same network. Remember, it has IP PTZ control built in. put the U40 on the network with your camera, and you have immediate NDI-HX conversion. In the same box. I mean puck. Okay, Kiloview just announced the next firmware update. This one's big. USB to NDI. So basically, plug a USB webcam or other USB device, and bam, it's NDI too. I told you they don't stop. This product is barely out, and it already does more than many others have dreamed of. Kiloview is about to prove to the world they're ready for prime time. Multi-channel rack encoders, SRT encode and decode, modular rack mount designs, and their all-new NDI multi-viewer, so you can create your own views of network content. The U40 is amazing. And Kiloview has a few more tricks coming soon. So stay tuned and keep your eyes on our channel here as we keep you informed of this and other NDI products that are coming out. So for that, we're going to call this episode of On the Bench over. We'll see you next time.